The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct is in just a few days, and I'm pretty excited. Just a few more days until we see the next Mario Kart again, the next 3D Mario, the next HD 2D Square Enix RPG with an abstract title that they'll just say is the temporary title, but it'll end up being the final title of the game anyway. Since we're getting this information in a Nintendo Direct, I decided to make a classic Nintendo Direct bingo card. This is where I'll be pulling my predictions from. Here's a blank one if you want to make your own. Here's a little tip: put your most confident predictions in these spaces, because they're necessary to get the most rows. Let's not waste any more time and get on to the predictions. The mouse functionality of the Joy-Con was first discussed a few months back when a picture of a fully put together Joy-Con leaked. Basically, the side of the Joy-Con has one of those laser light things that makes a computer mouse work, which led a lot of people to think that the Joy-Con could be used as a mouse. And this was basically confirmed in the trailer when the Joy-Con are sliding around, but it's not fully confirmed. They could have just been doing that for some reason. But I definitely think they'll go more in depth on this mouse mode and show a game or two that utilizes it. They'll definitely use it in a game I'll mention later. Now I'm gonna keep this segment brief because I don't know anything about Metroid other than the fact that the main character, whose name is Metroid, is a woman. I just think they'll use this game to showcase backwards compatibility again, or it'll have a dedicated Switch 2 version with better visuals and stuff. Either way, I think it'll be there because it's been nearly a year since the last trailer. Every Nintendo console since the Wii has launched with a gimmicky multiplayer party game to showcase the new features of the system. Wii Sports showed off the motion controls, Nintendo Land showed off the gamepad, and 1-2 Switch showed off Pain and Suffering. And this is the game I mentioned earlier that I think they could use to show off the mouse. Now I'm not sure how they could make an entire fully priced game around this, but hey, they sold 1-2 Switch, so I'm pretty sure they don't care. Honestly, if the ideas they have are really simple, they could go for a 3DS approach and have a few games built into the console, a lot like Face Raiders and AR games. So that way you'd at least have something to do if you couldn't afford any more games after buying the console. Speaking of the price, I believe that the Nintendo Switch 2 will cost $399.99 in United States dollars. That is all. We're 100% getting another trailer for the next Mario Kart. I would have believed that anyway, even if it wasn't the game they showed back in January. And go watch last week's video if you want to know what I want in that game. But only after you finish this one. I'll put it in the end card. Basically just a new series from Nintendo. This could easily be that gimmicky casual party game that I mentioned earlier, but it could also be literally anything. I have no idea. Basically every real leak of the console has had a button on the right Joy-Con that looks a lot like the capture button, but instead has a C on it. Oh, but the official console renders don't have the C on the button. You do realize how easy it would be for Nintendo to just scrub it from that stuff. Anyway, your guess is as good as mine as to what it does and what the C stands for. There's essentially endless possibilities, or as endless as the amount of words that start with the letter C. One of the most popular theories is that the C stands for cast. Basically, the console in handheld mode would send video from the tablet to the dock, which would then display on the TV, a lot like a reverse Wii U gamepad. Personally, that's not what I think it stands for, but I don't know what it is either. But Wii U 2 is probably not it if I had to guess. This just means two different versions at launch. This could be something as simple as different colored Joy-Con, or even a console bundle. I'm guessing just different colors though, as I don't think Nintendo would want to bundle a game on launch day. Later on in the year in the holiday season, like October to November, for sure. But on day one with the brand new game, there's no way. Now, I don't really know much about third-party games because my game collection looks like this, but I'm basically just talking about any game that was like nominated for Game of the Year or something. A game that'll get the more general gamer audience interested. This one speaks for itself. I'm fairly confident in a June release date, maybe late May, but I'm locking in June. Since Nintendo likes releasing stuff on Thursdays now, our possible days in June are the 5th, the 12th, the 17th, or the 26th. Although I'm honestly ruling out the 19th since it's Juneteenth, which is a federal holiday in the United States. So the more likely days are the 5th, the 12th, or the 26th. I'm gonna go with the 12th. The middle of the month just sounds about right. although I'm not fully counting out the 5th since the Nintendo Switch 1 released on March 3rd. This is another self-explanatory one, just an updated Pro controller with the C button added. They'd probably also give it the little red and blue accents that the Joy-Con have under the thumbsticks. Almost every Nintendo Direct ends with a one last thing or a this is our final announcement kind of thing, and I don't see why they wouldn't do it for this one. I think they could even save the 3D Mario for that, or even Smash Bros or something insane like that. Although I'm personally leaning more towards 3D Mario, Smash Bros just feels more like a year 2 or 3 kind of game. If you've made it this far in the video, that must mean you at least like it a little bit, so please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out in the treacherous YouTube algorithm. Let's get back to those predictions that are gonna be wrong. We already know that Switch 1 games will be playable on Switch 2, but I really hope this means that I'll also be able to use my Switch 1 controllers on the Switch 2. Especially the Pro controller, since it's my favorite controller and I don't want to have to buy another one, especially considering it's inevitably going to be more expensive than the one for the Switch 1. There is precedent for this though, since on their last sequel console, the Wii U, you are able to use Wii remotes. In fact, they're required for a lot of games. I don't think they'll be required on Switch 2, but just having them as an option would be nice. Oh, and the GameCube controller just refuses to die. The Nintendo Switch 1's home menu isn't exactly my favorite. Sure, it's clean and fast, but man is it bland. Just add a little bit more personality and some background ambience and we'll be good. Sure, it might slow it down just a little bit, but I'd honestly take it over what we have now. You might be saying that they're not going to show the menu in the Direct, and you'd be right if it wasn't for something that I'm going to mention later, so stay tuned for that. I believe that the Direct will cold open with a trailer for a game. What game? Probably Mario Kart. They like to keep the opening trailers exciting, but not the most exciting. I mean, yes, even though Mario Kart is a huge franchise and will probably be the best-selling game on the Switch 2, we just kinda know about it already. I'm guessing this trailer will just confirm some of the stuff that we already kind of knew and show off some new characters and courses. And don't forget to watch my Mario Kart wishlist video, please. Amiibo have definitely fallen in presence over the past few years. You could arguably say they've done that for the past decade, but I still think they're worth it for Nintendo to keep around. Now, I'm not sure if this is something that they would actually show in the Direct, but hey, maybe Mario Kart gets Amiibo support again or something, I don't know. Back to the menus for a little bit. I just want themes, man, even if it's just basic colors. I'm so sick and tired of black and white. Like, what's the point of having the themes section if you're only gonna offer black and white? You might as well have just called them dark and light mode. They will certainly mention Nintendo Switch Online to some extent. Now, I don't know how they'll mention it, whether it be a new console on NSO or something. I honestly think it could be that playtest from a few months ago that you weren't allowed to talk about or else you'd be taken away and never heard from again. From what we heard from the poor souls who sacrificed everything to reveal details about this game, it seemed like it was some weird online-focused world-building thing. This could even be our weird casual mouse game. My Nintendo Gold Points are Nintendo's reward program thing. Basically cash back for buying games on the eShop or physically. Although you would basically get next to nothing, it would be equivalent of 1 penny per dollar spent. Unfortunately, I guess, Nintendo is killing these off soon. I guess the Gold Points must have talked about the online playtest. I guess we could see the replacement for this at the Direct, but I don't know. This wouldn't be the first time Nintendo's killed off a service and immediately announced its successor. Club Nintendo was killed off and then immediately My Nintendo was announced. Also, My Nintendo itself isn't going away, just the Gold Points, so you'll still be able to get wallpapers, don't worry. Every Nintendo Direct seemingly has some sort of controversial moment, so why would this one be any different? Now, I'm not saying the host is going to go on a racist rant or anything, but I'm willing to bet that there will be something that'll anger people. Are you kidding me, Nintendo? The Switch 2 is going to cost money? Why do people even support this company anymore? Nintendo likes doing these weird crossovers with other series as of late. The biggest example that I can think of is Mario plus Rabbids. Now I don't know if this will actually be announced here, but I'm definitely expecting something like this within the year. I doubt it'll be Mario or Zelda though, since those already have crossovers. So get ready for the worlds of Pikmin and Call of Duty to collide. Friendly reminder that my collection looks like this, so I don't know much about Zelda. Except for the fact that the green elf man's name is Zelda, although I don't think I deserve any credit for that, since that's just common knowledge. But I've heard rumors of like a remake or a port or something, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just too busy playing M&M's Kart Racing to play one of the highest rated games of all time, so just leave me alone. The Switch 2 equivalent of Miiverse or something? I don't know. I mean, I heard some rumors about this. It's like a Nintendo version of TikTok, even though I think those rumors were proven false. This could also correlate to the C button somehow, but again, I don't know. Okay, to be honest, this is all I really want to see. It's been almost 8 years since Super Mario Odyssey, which is my favorite game of all time. So this game has a lot of expectations to live up to. I'm just out of ideas, please, I can't wait for this direct anymore, it's starting to kill me. Or maybe that's just the side effects of talking about the online playtest. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in this presentation, and go watch the Mario Kart video. This isn't a joke. It was a joke. You don't really have to if you don't want to, but I'd appreciate it if you did.